Charter. Yes, my love. You've been lying to me. I beg your pardon. Don't deny it. This is hard enough as is. Being betrayed by you. I assure you, Ezre, I have no idea what you're talking about. I didn't want to believe it at first. I told myself that if you did indeed stumble on your words... No. You made the same mistake twice, alluding to the lady in white. You knew that the warning note referred to a woman even though it wasn't specified. You knew that RT is female. Mere coincidence. Is an old man not allowed to slip with a tongue or two? You can honestly imply that you've made enemies with the anonymous artist who drew your landscape painting. The smartest person I've ever known. In all our years together, I can barely count on one hand the amount of times you stumbled or slipped up. You did so twice when talking about the same damn thing. So don't try to gaslight me, you bastard. Bastard, is it? Tell me who the hell RT is and what she has to do with all this. I bet you know that I'm stuck in a time loop too, don't you? Don't be crazy, Ezre. There's no such thing as time loops. You're clearly complicit. You... Don't sully your mouth further. I can say what the hell I want. You're supposed to always support me. I don't understand. Fine then. I concede. Oh, that... You're as clever as they come, my love. What? What's wrong with you? Why do you look like that? Why are we in this place? I can finally stop pretending now. Pretending? Yes. You don't have a husband, you fool. I'd ever love you. I bet you're getting I bet you're feeling really good about yourself now. You didn't listen. As a result, well, congratulations. You're one step closer to ruining everything. Ruining what? You're the one that's... Ask your son about the whiskey. I'm sure he can provide some additional insight. If pursuing this further is truly what you desire, that is. But don't say I didn't warn you. Charter, please. This can't be happening. Farewell, my love. Charter! The residence of Ezrebeth Casarecces. Heiress to a vast fortune. Sister. Wife? It's glitching out. Mother. Grandmother. And recluse by choice. Every truth we uncover, something else starts to glitch. That really happened? Charter, how could you? The one person I trusted. No. Done yet. Shadow said I should talk to Isabello. What do I have to do next has to do with him. Begonia. Mr. Dearest, Begonia, please, come in. Don't mind if I do. Still in good health. Alright. So at this point, we pretty much got everything we needed to the first time. Goodbye, Begonia. Just like clockwork. Dear son and grandson, welcome. Please come in. Salutations, Mama. Thank you. Isabello, it's time for you to be useful. Oh, yes, that is to say, really, if it pleases you, Mama. Someone told me that I should talk to you about the whiskey. Oh, What whiskey would that be, Mama? The one you brought in your car. Right, yes. Our gift. You knew about that, didn't you? Figures, I had a whole speech prepared for its reveal and everything. A speech? Well? Yes, but nothing is good enough for my wonderful mama, but if anything comes close, it would definitely be the stellar 1987 vintage Eau de Savadalia. Alas, that plan is now forfeit. When Vol brought us the whiskey himself, it was 1986. Or is this just a case of things got changed back to the inferior Eau de Savadell? Alas, that plan is now forfeit. Incidentally, who was this someone that told you to talk to me about it? That Kerr was thought to answer for, spoiling a perfectly good surprise like that. He does indeed. Doesn't matter anymore. Have you just made the same mistake again? You confused the years. I'm assuming you weren't planning on serving me the horrible 1987 vintage, rather its pristine 1986 counterpart. Oh yes, right. That's to say that, by which I mean, of course. You are so... I want to get mad at him for being so absurdly caving and flip-floppy, but then I remember that he was raised this way. And that's just a thing that's that's nurture. Let me guess, you misspoke. Yes. That seems to be today's running theme. What do you mean, Mama? Never mind. You've already told me what I need to know. I see. Very well then. Isabella, enough is enough. Mama, I talked to your father already, whatever that thing was. I'm not following. Stop playing dumber than you already are. Should have realized it earlier. Never thought much of you, but I know that you'd never try to make your mother believe that she's going insane. That's right, I'd never do that. But you did, though. You tried to fool me into thinking that there's nothing wrong with that damn calendar. You almost had me believing it, too, until you started contradicting yourself repeatedly about the whiskey. My son is a constant and terrible disappointment, but that is one mistake he'd never make. No, I'm well enough to say that. So who the hell are you? I considered dragging you along a while longer, but what would be the point? That old idiot already went and said too much. How dare you talk about your father like that? He's not my father, obviously. Here we are again. He's a shadow, just like Shata. Hell, the child, too? No! I don't have a father, you see. Nor does the little thing standing next to me. Don't call me a little thing, asshole. What the hell? Take it easy, Grandma. One thing at a time. Hey, stop stealing the show. I'm the one in charge here. Only because she feels sorry for you. What's going on? You're so close now, Mama. You're not going to like what you find. So I hear. But it can't be worse than whatever this is. I have to say, she's handling all these developments quite well. It's because of her abilities. Because of her abilities. What about them? Oops. You shouldn't have said that, moron. She will be angry with you now. Are you talking about RT? Obviously. Hey, maybe you should check on your flowers. But Auntie has a thing or two to say about them. You're stealing the show, Rod. If you don't want me to find out what's going on, then why do you keep giving me hints? This isn't about what we want. It's about what you want. What I want. Bye-bye, grandmother. Wait! Sweet dreams, Mama. Wait! This is very much a time loop story where once we find the first hole and start pulling on it, everything else just willingly comes unraveled. Our names, everything's glitching out too. The residence of Ezrebeth Casarecces, heiress to a vast fortune, sister, wife, mother, grandmother. Yeah, sister is still intact. Wife, mother, and grandmother are now all glitching somewhat. And recluse by choice. It's gonna come down to, like, the barren room that we're seeing is where Ezrebeth really wound up saying after going into exile from her family. I understand even less now, somehow. Is nothing real? Am I even alive? What do those shadows say about my cinquefoil? Actually, when looking at those plants now, they seem tired, as if life is slowly leaving them. How could they be dying if time keeps repeating itself? What was it Begonia said about the health of those flowers being tied to the owners? I need to push on. The time to do so is now. Seeing that apparition take the shape of my grandson was oddly chilling. I never cared much for him. I at least appreciated his gentle demeanor, in that it wasn't terribly offensive. The shadowy version of him did not share that positive trait. I haven't had time to properly process what happened after I accused Shata of lying to me. I want to believe that it was all a bad dream, but more often than not in my life, reality tends to become the nightmare. Heartbroken, but not surprised, insane as that may sound. Shata was the only good thing in my life, and now he's gone. I have nothing of value left to lose. Finding this RT, who seems to be behind everything, is now the only thing that drives me. For as long as I can remember, I've carried a great shame regarding my affection or lack thereof for my son. I sometimes doubted that he was even mine, though that's of course impossible. In some sick way, the shadow claiming that he indeed wasn't struck me as kind of relieving. Yep, it is all coming unraveled now. Mr. Dearest, shut up and get inside. Oh, alright. Present from Shata. Seems to be in very poor health. Out of curiosity. Not letting her leave. Okay, we're in the end game now. Begonia? Begonia, yes? What's with these flowers, really? What do you mean? Oh, the state of them, they're withering away. You must be miserable, dear sister. I am, yes. Though I don't think it has anything to do with the plants. It has everything to do with them. Don't you know that they... Yes, you told me. They're tied to my health or something of that effect. Correct. I feel so sorry for you. You really believe that they're magical, huh? There was a time when you just laughed at the very prospect of mythological flowers. What happened? I grew up with a magical sister, so I suppose in my older age I may have become a bit of a believer, as it were. Is that right? Yes. Some things can't be explained by rational logic, I'm sure of that now. You're saying you learned that from me? That's right. Though you're walking about as usual, seemingly alright with that slight leg impairment of yours. Sorry about that, by the way. Mental well-being is clearly lower than usual, which is saying a lot since it's you. I can't argue with that. The flowers don't lie, dear sister. Just say what you want to say already. Huh? I can see it in your eyes. You have something you want to tell me. You're right, and I will. Soon enough. Can you do it now? You can. Before you start, can I just say that it's been a pleasure. Getting to know you, I mean. Hmm? You're going to accuse me of not being real, and you'd be right. You're the most pleasant of the shadows in Ram's employ. Please don't look surprised. Those other imbeciles made it clear from the start that something was off. Not really their fault, though. We're all just doing what she tells us. You're talking about RT. Yes, I am. Don't give it away. Was it the whole flower shtick? From the start, I felt that you weren't acting like she would. The way everyone was talking, and from all the time I've spent out here alone, well, I started to doubt my own memories. Easy to do when you barely have any left. Right. After that, I started doubting my emotions, too. Then you realize something was wrong. Finding out that you're stuck in a time loop will do that to you. That's another thing you'll have to bring up with her. Don't think that's supposed to happen. You're not meant to be aware. never mind, please. Continue. At any rate, the way you acknowledged my abilities was odd, to say the least. Real Begonia made my life a living hell. There are limits to how much a person can change. Are you sure about that? That's been my experience, at least. And knowing that also provided me with the last clue, which ultimately made me certain about you. And what clue was that? My touch. Using my gift on you showed a complete lack of malice. I wasn't sure what to do with that information originally, but it all makes sense now. You are not my sister. My sister had malice ingrained in her heart for me. Ironically, you are a better person than she ever was. Your goal was to deceive me, then you failed spectacularly. Damn, that's my line. Sorry. So, what now? Ironic that Ezre's the shadow impersonating Ezre's sister turned out to be the most pleasant, affable, and kind of the shadows inhabiting this heaven time loop. What now? Now? This. Do you recognize this place? No. Don't lie to me, sister. I'm not lying. I've never seen it before. Oh. You've been having headaches, right? I have. Aha. Repressing things will do that to a human, I hear. I'm not repressing anything. Why would I not want to remember? I indeed. What are you saying? Who knows? Maybe some memories are needed for you to be you. Others are simply painful. I'm being needlessly cryptic. Huh. It's been fun. Say, sister. Yes? Take a look at the family photo again. Remember the following. When you wish upon a star, he's going to know where you are. Begonia? Tick-tock. Ooh, we still have time to go here. Just a house. Just a house RT, just a house RT, just a house RT, just a house RT. Just a house RT, just a house RT, just a house RT, just a house RT. I can't wait for Rem's game dev career a la Satan and Pony Island. Honestly. Yeah, I can't wait for Rem's game dev career. To keep souls trapped in their perfect bliss. It's almost over. It has to be. Right, the photo. What the hell? Not in the photo. In it. Why am I not there? Wait. Whereas Begonia said. What were they? Not wishing on a star. Oh god. Seems I didn't even have to wish. Because someone's already here. RT. Definitely. Let's see. Well, last words about Begonia. Ironically, the fake version of my sister turned out to be much more pleasant than the real one ever was. If in an alternate universe where things aren't quite as messed up, we could maybe have been friends. What a thought. Oh, yeah, hi. Hello. I hear you've been looking for me, Ezrebeth. Maybe I have. Are you RT? Yes. Is that your real name? Of all the questions you could possibly ask me, you settle for that. My brother is right. You humans really are strange. What? You're not human? Well, duh. To answer your weird old question, I don't have a name. For a short while, I may have been known as RT. It's one of many different things humans have called me through the years. Talking about. You've had an interesting day, Ezrebeth. In fact, you've had many of them, as you probably know by now. How many exactly? I've been observing you through that window for a small eternity. So, I'm not really sure. Humans think that there's no limit to my powers. The truth is, I'm still learning. It's a bit infuriating, to be honest. Yikes. Yikes. What the hell is going on? Wow. Overreaction much? It's a completely normal reaction, you damn ghost bastard. Hey, I resent that. I am not a ghost, but, suppose my current form isn't really helping. Well, you've ruined everything anyway, so I might as well reveal myself. Hold on to your butt. Hiya. The lady in white. That's right. Wait, I didn't say that aloud. Reading minds is easy peasy for someone like me, Ezre. Can I call you that, by the way? What? Thanks. I didn't say... So I bet you can't wait to find out what's going on, huh? That's right. I don't ever tell you that you're a world-class detective. Of course, I had to make the whole thing winnable so that you wouldn't get too frustrated with little old me. You mean... yes. I planted little tips all over the place for you to find. Like my signature on the painting. Some enticing flowers. Started with a big old cryptic note like all the good mysteries do. Once you found out about the loop, you wanted to break free, so I had to adjust the whole thing. To keep you happy. Everything I do is about making you happy, you know? That's what I do. I keep people in their happy places for all eternity. Yay, me. So, all of this, is it actually happening? I mean, is it real? As real as it gets for you at this point. What does that mean? It means that you're dead, sister? What? It's no big deal. Not a big deal. I keep forgetting. Life is so precious to you humans, even though it's not really special at all. Here's my sudden thought. This is not a poetry. This is not a pit stop in purgatory scene. Like, it doesn't happen after pit stop in purgatory. This happens before. I will elaborate if what I think is going to happen ends up happening. Life is so precious to you humans, even though it's not really special at all. I don't get it. Seems like I still have lots to learn, huh? How could you say that it's not special? Are you kidding with little RT right now? I've seen your whole life play out, Ezre, and it was not a pretty sight. I've seen horror movies that were less traumatizing. I can't handle scary stuff at all. You don't know what you're talking about. Uh-huh. Well, life is shit, like you kept saying, right? But at some point, you need to take responsibility. You could have confronted those big old demons. I gave you so many chances, too, in this little fake world I created for you. Sad, really. Never took the chance to grow. An infinite amount of holidays, and you just kept being bitter about things, mean to everyone. Even when I tried making them good, nice to you. You were really hard to please, Ezre. I tried so hard. Sob. All of this was fake, and I'm dead. Of course. You died alone in this depressing room. No one cared about you, Ezre. You were right all along. Why would they visit a bitter old hag like you? Kept walking around, hating everything, doing nothing about it. And then, boom. Ooh. Some disease or something, no one cares. But you died. That should have been the end of it. I should have gone to that boring place, hanging out with my silly brother. But I wanted you, Ezre. Because you're a bit special. Talking about my abilities. Yes. They're so interesting. They're giving me the good old shivers. They're a bit wasted on you, though. I didn't choose to have them. Complaining again, are we? Bah. Anywho, they gave me a challenge. Your strange magic thingy made it easier for you to resist my illusions. The real house kept popping back into your mind. That's why I kept seeing it. It took a super long time to make you believe that nice house was real. So much work, so many missed episodes of great TV shows. Then when it finally worked, I had to play around with your mind just a teensy bit. So you'd be you, but with less pesky memories that just ruined things. Such a balancing act. Even then, you kept resisting, eventually breaking out of my little construction. And at that point, I just had to admit defeat and give you some crumbs to lead you here. Don't we all love a good scavenger hunt, after all? It was you all along. It was super hard. I don't have emotions like humans do, so figuring out which memories were important or not was so tough. I have to admit, I did take a few chances. Which is why some memories end up being real, some false, and some just missing altogether. Exactly. And now you understand why some things didn't make sense to you. You must forgive me, Ezre. I was doing it all for your happiness. It sounds to me like I was just some damn experiment. Can it be both? I mean, I gave you the perfect family. The husband you always wanted. A kind sister groveling at your feet like you always dreamed of. A son and grandson to step all over. You should be thanking me. None of it was real. Charter never left Begonia, did he? My sister was just as bad as I remember her being, wasn't she? So I was never a mother. Isabella was Begonia's son all along. Does that make you sad, Ezre? I thought you didn't want children. I didn't. But you made them real. Even though I never liked them, Why would you do that? You said that you wanted to make me happy. I even put that damn family there to begin with. I spent my whole life hated by them. Why would you make me believe that I wasn't? Why would you give me power with them for the first time? Why would... Power? That's what you actually wanted, right? You wanted to be the one to tell them to go to hell. Like they did to you all your life. Revenge. That is the real gift that I gave you. Out of the goodness of my big old heart. Metaphorically speaking, since I don't actually have one. It wasn't your choice to make. Hmm? Don't know what the hell you're supposed to be. But this... Don't try to tell me that you did this for me. No one has ever done anything for me. No one has ever asked what I want. I didn't choose to be born the way I was. I didn't choose to be made an outcast, or disinherited in favor of my younger sister, or to be left alone. You did. Perhaps not directly. But stuff leads to other stuff, Ezre. And this is where your choices took you. You are a piece of shit. What'd you say? You are a piece of shit. You ungrateful little insignificant ant. After everything I've done for you, you don't know how much work I have to do. How tough it is to be me. How much I love you. How hard it is to get rid of humans who find out too much about me. What? Someone who found out too much? You killed your apprentice, didn't you? When she saw your white clothes. Saw you. You're too smart for your own good, Ezre. Little Ram, the cute painter, got too curious. You killed... Whoa, that's a bit of unexpected Ram lore. That's a bit of Ram lore I was not expecting here. It's all just a bit too much, but it's all good. Because her face is mine now, so she'll never be forgotten. What? Hey, I had to do it, out of necessity. It would be so bad if my existence was properly revealed to humans. But like, everyone. You. I'm bored with you now. I can't forgive you for breaking my little heart like you just did. However, you're already dead, so I can't kill you again. I'll just have to turn you into one of them. Huh? You will be a shadow. No one will be able to see what you look like. And you only remember the things that I want you to remember. So, not too little, not too much. You'll be a shapeless being, living out your days in that other place. This hurts me more than it hurts you, Ezre. Bastard. So this is how it ends. A full life of shit and now an eternity of even more shit. Yep. There's a small silver lining for you. Once I start turning you, there'll be a few minutes where you're technically between worlds. It's hard to explain, so bear with me, okay? Just a few moments you can see and do whatever you want. Think of it like your last wish. Though you don't deserve it, it's rightfully yours. I mean, I can... Oops, you're turned into a shadow already, Ezre. Better make that little window of time count. Just in case you somehow actually put in a timed event. What? No. I can't. I don't understand. I don't... back in time. But there's nothing here. Only... Grandson. Hi! Oh. Yet it seems like you're not so different from everyone else after all. What? This is your last wish? To meet us all one last time. That is, the versions of us that you always wished us to be. Is this really what I want? Grandmother, don't you know? Everyone really wants in the end is to be loved for who they are. Aye. And for what it's worth, Grandmother, I think you're pretty cool. Voluminous. Bye! Mama. Isabella, please listen to me. I may not have actually been your son, but I'd like to think that if I were, well... I think you could have taught me about what it was like to go through life being different. Never got to just be myself. I was forced to study all day and all night, and I hated it so much. What I really wanted was to be a musician, you know. A musician? An amusing thought, I know. Don't be so hard on yourself. It's easy for others to say that you need to make a change. That you should get off your ass. That you should try to be more positive. Change is hard. Still, too many people don't realize that simple truth. And more still will never hear words like these that could perhaps change them for the better. You did your best, Mama. I'm not sure I did. Farewell. My love. I can't do this. I can't look you in the eyes now that I know the truth. You never loved me. Why? Why didn't you love me? I was always better than her. I know that you knew that too. So why? Life is complicated. All of this is just your imagination, remember? Who's to say how things really were? Perhaps I never loved Begonia and desired you from afar. Or perhaps I was the same as her. I know you weren't. You always asked me how I was. You called me that one time. You even defended me. More than once. No one else in my life ever did that much for me. Then that is the charter you should remember. For all intents and purposes, I am he. Then, can you say it? One last time? I love you, Ezrebeth. I love you too. Please don't leave me. I must, though it greatly pains me. What could be painful for you when you're not even real? That's not entirely true, now is it? Because you're experiencing this right now. Charter wisdom, all the way into the end. That's right. Adieu, my love. Sister dearest. Why did you do it, Begonia? Why did you treat me the way you did? I was afraid. Always afraid. But I often regretted things. All the way to the end, when I found out that you had died alone and impoverished. And though this isn't an excuse, all I can say is that I ran into a wall. If I had attempted to salvage what remained of you, us, our relationship, it would have cost me too much. Selfish, I know, but it's the truth. The rumors surrounding you were too much. Knowing my part in creating them will always be my biggest shame. Is that really what she felt? Or are you just making things up to ease the pain? I am just a mirage, Ezrebeth. But if I can believe it, then maybe you can too. That makes no sense. True. But then again, does anything. Good point. Hey. Do you know that some people believe that when we die, we get to live our lives in the beginning again? Over and over until we eventually perfect them. I've never heard about that, no. It's true, though. I'm going to make you a promise. If we get to live our lives again, if I get to see you again, even for just a single day, then every fiber of my being will be committed to making things right. I'll share your burdens. I'll learn about your gift. Take your side against mother and father. I'll be the sister you never had. Begonia, I promise you. I promise. Begonia. The time has come, Ezre. Hope you made your last moments count, because they're about to be history. Fine. But first, you can't possibly believe that you're good. Being you are whatever your purpose is, might not be the right person to ask when it comes to how one should treat others. But hell, even I know that you are a damn shitty bastard. Keep telling yourself that you're doing this for humans or whatever justification you want to use. An asshole recognizes other assholes. Trust me when I say that you are one. Shut human says what? What? Ah, much better. A visual improvement if you ask me. Now let's take it for a test drive. Oh, what's your name? Ezrebeth. What do you like? Booze, hilarious puns on people's names and bad words in general. And what do you remember of your past? People were shitty to me. Now I'm shitty to others. Perfect. Oh. Seems like you have some of those powers left still somehow. I bet he will appreciate that. That way he'll owe me a favor. That's never a bad thing, is it? Having favors to cash in on. Shut up, you damn cow. Huh? Are you trying to be shit, or does it just come naturally for you? You'll just have to do. Am such a dang good guy. Oh. Oh, dang. All right. Yeah, a lot of the stuff that I was... Oh, hello.
Every seems so serious to show me the door. And don't forget, I know you've always been blinded. With a face like mine, you'll never need reminding. And all I am is locked up in this room. I never get a chance to be with you. And that's symbolic in so many ways.
Memory of Sven and Johan. Borgelind. Oh, wow, that was the... Oh. Little brother, are you here? You know I hate it when you're late. Don't make me punish you. Oh, there's our boy. I am not your brother. Even if I were, I would certainly not be the smaller sibling. Let's not get into that whole thing again, eh? You know that I'm so much stronger than you. At any rate, I thoroughly despise this place, so kindly tell me why you have brought me here, post-haste. Oh, should I take that personally? You may take it any way you like. Is that right? Anywho, I brought you something. I'm sure you'll like it, so you're gonna owe me. It's a shadow with some strange powers. Thought you could have some fun with her over in Purgatory. I see. How awfully considerate to throw me such a generous bone. You do know how easily I get bored. Of course I do. What kind of big sister would I be if I didn't? You aren't. Well then, if that's all, don't you want to hear about what I've been up to? Can't say that I do. You're no fun. Our individual ideas of fun differ quite substantially. We're deities, brother. We're allowed to let loose. Who's gonna stop us? The fact that humans are lesser beings is indisputable, of course. However, that is not what I'm referring to. It's you, constantly crossing lines. Allowing your, how shall I put it, perceived goodwill. Wasn't aware we had lines to cross. You'll have to teach me more about that someday, huh? I suppose. I love her unhinged expressions. Incidentally, this shadow. It's the Casarecces woman, yes? That's right. The youngest one passed recently. Given your experience with her, you might be interested in having a look at him as well. The youngest? As in the child? Bad luck. Yes, well, he's not a child anymore. But to say that you might find him entertaining is right up your alley, as it were. With that, my debt is paid. You don't get to decide. Honestly, it's either you or yeah. You choose one. You should be more consistent in your use of human grammar after all the time spent in their company. Are you trying to get on my nerves? You shouldn't forget who you're talking to, little guide. You're trying to get on your nerves. I'd say that I'm quite clearly succeeding. Toodles. Such a rowdy little brother. Think we'll have to have a real talk with him someday. But for now, it's time to welcome young Voluminous to his new and shiny afterlife. Yep, that is precisely the place in the timeline I was expecting in the end. Oh no, the truth of the truth. And that is, in fact, the end of a good old holiday Mindfudge with Ezrebeth. Ezrebeth's story is honestly really painful. Utterly traumatized and ostracized from her own family. Could not, from everything we heard about her, could not literally live among society for extended periods of time. There's no real way of getting around that fact. Whether that was from trauma or her gift, whatnot, or both, remains to be seen. But it's still a wonderfully, not even wonderfully, tragic story here. Discovered she had a gift to read people, and it's like, if there's one thing that holds true, it's that her gift has some physical impact on the person she's using it on that they find genuinely uncomfortable. Well, that, in essence, possibly only encouraged the rumors that her family and sister put out against her here. And that only drove her turn people like the sound of it, the rumors that took off about her were like dangerous, persistent, and like traumatized and ostracized to the point where she would not come back. If the last word of Begonia or anything to go by, like at that point it was too much, too far gone. to even try and bridge the gap. And make things right. Ezra couldn't do it herself. She was living in poverty and living in poverty and bitterness toward everyone else who she wanted to tell to fuck off. So she had no reason to and couldn't genuinely bridge that gap. Begonia may have considered it, but at that point the rumors were too much and her standing in the family was too secure to that the risk that she would incur by trying to reach out to her from the bridge that gap. So she put her self-understanding above her sister in the end. And so that's everyone. Ezra died bitter and alone. Gonia and her family, as it were left behind with just Begonia's lingering regrets that she had to live with. And it seems like she lived with said regrets, but it's just still, yeah. Rem is chaotic. Rem is amoral. But Rem also has a startlingly good read on Ezra in this case. Maybe it is like Ezra said then, and assholes recognize each other when the chips are down. Maybe. Very curious. But yeah, that I'm also all here for the unexpected Rem lore that we got here. The previous Rem Theo was the artist mentioned. Was the apprentice mentioned. So all the RT and paintings were have ties to actual reality. If cruel world is the name in reality, it's hard to tell exactly how the painting contradiction comes about. Like, RT existed in reality, painted that landscape painting in reality. I'm trying to work out the logistics in my head of how that contradiction came about. Ezrebeth calls it Cruel World. It's labeled Cruel World in heaven, in this timely place in heaven. Is it known by the Shadow playing Isa as Wonderful World? When he sees the painting and, like, was that the painting in reality, Wonderful World? And, like, Rem decided to label the painting Cruel World in this little time loop world she made for Ezrebeth. Because looking at, she's just been observing Ezrebeth's life now and finds it very cruel what she went through. So then Issa comes in, says, looks at the painting, says, "Oh, that's Wonderful World by RT." And Ezrebeth says, "No, that's called Cruel World." And Isabel immediately caves, because his mission is to keep the illusion up, and he's the doofy son. Immediately caves. Says, "Yes, that's right, mother. That's right, mother. I misspoke. It's Cruel World." Just an interesting little detail there in the illusion that my mind wandered to just now. Related to my point about RT and the Rem lore here. Very intriguing. Very intriguing, which makes me wonder if... Now I want to replay poetry because of the certain events that get revealed there involving Rem. To see how a certain character in poetry talks about their mother, who has ties to Rem. Now I'm really more intrigued by... Like, I knew going in that this was connected, lore-wise, to poetry, but I didn't expect it to be so expansive of the lore. I don't know why that little tidbit... I feel like it may have come up before, but having that little tidbit be such an important part of the story here just really... has now taken root in my mind. It's a core memory now. It's lovely. This was a very... I don't want to distract from the really gut-wrenching tale of Ezrebeth's life and her chance at confronting her old life here. Either confronting her old life here or living a better life than she had. In the end, she could not change. It wasn't really until Astrid came along that she found some measure of repose. A sad life and a sad death. It'll be a while before she finds that peace that she so deserves. Man, I did not expect to get this much out of Ezra, out of the jam game for this here. It was a ton to unpack here, but that was really cool. I really enjoyed this. Again, I love the style of the art in the backgrounds, and I think the music again on point. I wasn't expecting a vocal theme in the credits too. That was really cool. But yeah, it's very, very... Let's say, it's one of those games that you'll definitely appreciate more if you've played poetry first. I mean, pit stop first. I keep getting them conflated, I'm sorry. But, yeah. I didn't expect to get 3. It, very much. One of those things that will very stick out. Here, it makes sense at the end how the loop was put together. Again, you could go deep into breaking down the methods of the construction of the time loop mechanics here. And really, makes a lot of sense that it was a time loop that was meant to be solved. Progression of the story being that, yeah, it really logically makes sense in the end, because you were given the flashes of the room. You see Rem, then you have the flashes of the room. Rem realizes, oh no, she's aware of this. I can't really paper over this if she's aware of this. Then we started seeing the change with the note, which was Rem, like, live patching her time loop to make it a time loop mystery to be solved. Just why I say that Rem and Satan from Pony Island would be good friends. They could swap game dev tips. They could collab on a game jam. I think they'd enjoy that. But, man. Once again, Rem is wonderfully fascinating. Once again, Ezrebeth. The parts that really, like, made me go, oh, poor girl, were fortunately just her actual lived memories of this family clashing with the role that she was been placed into here. So, if she lived a life where she was in an actual position to marry him and have Issa, have kids, there's a very good chance she could have grown and been a better mother. But all of this that came about, this is something that's going to this was a yeah, that sort of family behavior is something that was really going to stand. Something that, like, I love you, Ezrebeth, but if there's something that you actually did, you actually raised a son like that, I'm going to have a problem with that. I don't approve of that. I can take some solace in the fact that it is just Ezrebeth's actual memory of her relationship with these people clashing with the role that she was placed into. It is a relief. Her actual memory of them being just pure bitterness that Begonia had the family that she never had a chance to even want. Never had a chance to even want. Alright. With that, now we're gonna sign off. Like, this was a lovely holiday, Mindfudge. Again, I went through that. Once I realized at the very beginning the core of what was off here, then I was head into the mystery and ready to unpack it. Can't even imagine how it would still be very much be a intriguing time loop story if you were not familiar with the lore, but it's definitely enhanced by playing Pit Stop first. I very much enjoyed this. Thank you for joining me in my extended journey in the Purgatory-verse. We'll continue with a short feature. I believe the paintings is much shorter of a game because it's a O2A2 game. So I'll definitely check that out. And then, I don't know, maybe we'll play Guidalicious again. Because it's on Steam now, so I need to play it on Steam so I can review it. So maybe I'll do that again. We'll do that next time then. Until then.